Okay, so I've actually jumped back over to Windows because I don't have anything in, like my screen recording and everything is in Windows. So we are out of the Linux environment, but from here on out it should be the same other than what I'm about to show you. So if we open the Kdenlive app in, I guess, like the normal way, the standard way, you can see there's show at startup here, so you can turn that off and then it would be the same as how it started up in Linux there, where it just opens straight into the program. But here you can choose, you want to do a new project, open some old projects, and the project profile, kind of that you can customize these and everything, but yeah, we're actually just going to clear those. We're going to go into a new project, and this is going to take a sec. So now it's opened up and you can see that you can actually change. So we're going to change this to 30 frames per second because it's more likely what we're going to be dealing with, and then we're going to have our video tracks and audio tracks kind of set as standard to 3 and 3. And then yeah, everything else you can just kind of leave it the same. Don't worry too much about it. Once you get used to it, you'll have more fun playing around with this stuff, but for now just leave it. So hit OK. It'll set up your environment. We're going to over here, we're going to want to click on Project Bin, and then there's two different ways that you can get files in here, because now you want to have something in here that's not valuable to you, that you can play around with, mess around with, screw up, possibly lose, and just have fun with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to quickly edit the last video for downloading Kdenlive. I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it, just so you can get a quick feel of some basic video editing in here that you can jump into and do no problem. So let's first find that file. So we have two things we can drag and drop, but I don't love that. We're going to come over here, we're going to Project Bin, double click. Now we have access to the whole of the computer. Of course, drag and drop you do as well, but this way you're still in the program, and I really like that for some reason. We're actually already in the folder that I want, but you can navigate to anywhere in the computer. And I'm just going to double click on this guy. Now that just turned this file from a file that is not editable to an editable file. It's asking here. It's saying this is the profile. Do we want to switch over to that profile? So there's no reason why not. If this is happening at the beginning of the program, that's fine. If you're in the middle, I would recommend not doing that, but that's for another time. So we're just going to take this, drag and drop it straight in, down to V1 so that our video and audio are touching there. And the reason that we don't have it touching at the back at 0, because this is 0 back here, and you can't go past 0 in Kdenlive. So we're going to keep it out here a little bit. It's just a little bit easier to play around with. What we're going to do first is if you hold Control and then you can scroll in and out, you can make it smaller, and so you can get finer detail on your audio there. And then if you have two tracks, like let's say we need to see we got our video up here, and then we need to see our audio, you can hold Shift and scroll, and that'll move you up and down just like that. So we're going to pull this back into the center because that's all we're going to need, and we're just going to insert a little guy here. We're going to go up to Media, and we're going to go Add Media, and we're going to go Add Title Clip. I have some presets in here. We're just going to kind of come in here and we're going to click. I have really bad eyes, so I can't see my cursor, but yeah, okay, and there's the text. So the text shows up once we click, and we're just going to put in here that we want Kdenlive download for Linux. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit this to my heart's content. Okay, so we got everything set up here with kind of a blue, slightly transparent background, some shadows. I'll show you how to set this all up in another video, but also just, go ahead and play around with that. We're going to create this title. This is more about just kind of setting up a simple little video in general. So we're going to make this guy, I think, yeah, we're going to just kind of drag this out to be about duration on this guy. We're actually going to go back in here and the time up here, we're just going to adjust this forward to about 10 seconds and update that. So yeah, so how this is going to look, if you want to look right up here on this kind of blank screen, and I'm going to hit play, you're going to actually click right on this blank screen and it'll typewrite that out, and that'll be playing. Kind of, you can see what's going on in the background while that's playing there. So next, we're gonna jump up, and I'm just gonna throw in a quick outro. So again, we're gonna double click over here, and now I'm gonna go find the outro, and I'll catch up with you guys in just a half a sec here. Okay, so we successfully got our outro here, and I'm not too worried about, I'm gonna tone down the volume a little bit, but that's not a huge deal. We're actually gonna go like this and bring that back a little bit so that when we go across from one to the other, the audio kind of fades in from one and out to the other. So let's just throw a quick fade on here. So we're going to go over to Effects and Video, and then just type FA, and we're going to make sure that this is highlighted red, and then we're going to double click Fade In, and we're actually going to put a fade out on here as well. And now we can come over to the right hand side here and see how long each fade is. Now this whole piece is pretty short, so I'm going to make these fades closer to maybe 1.5, 2 seconds each. Yeah, this fade in is 3 whole seconds. So we're just going to save. We haven't saved this file yet, actually, so Control S to save, super important, and you're going to save it wherever you want to. Okay, now you've found the location where you want to save it. You're just going to label it, so we're going to go with Kdenlive and download. No, download. See if I can spell load. That looks good. So the project has been saved to that same folder where I put my original video file. And we're actually going to go down here. We're going to hold Shift and scroll down. And then we're going to hold Control and scroll in. It's going to expand this. And you can see here that we have a fade in naturally and then a fade out naturally. So I'm just going to adjust this a little bit so that the fade in doesn't overlap so much with the audio that's already happening. And I can check, make sure you're checking all your audio and everything before you export. So what we're going to do here is we're going to scroll back out with the control, and we're going to scroll out until we can see everything, and then we're going to hold Shift and we're going to click and drag. It's going to highlight everything. Now with everything highlighted, hold Control and scroll in to expand, and then scroll back towards the where we reached 0 here, and you can click and drag this whole project back to the 0 point. So when you render it out, you can render out from 0, because if you render out and you're not at 0, you're going to have black space at the beginning of your project there. So we're just going to go up here to the render, We're going to hit render. It's going to be on MP4. That's how I export it, but if you want some sort of other export, then go ahead. Full project. I'll show you how to do a selected project, and then this is the render time, 6 minutes 17 seconds. If that seems wrong to you, then you can go back in. Always check that, because sometimes you have a 6-minute video clip and it says 9 minutes here, so you have something going on. And then you're just going to hit render file. Now, where is this rendering? So I'm just going to abort this job real quick. And okay, so it was going to videos, and I actually have this in my pictures folder. So before I export, I should have done this before. I'm going to go to output file. I'm going to go over to this guy here, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to put in our destination. So here we actually already have the correct destination. That's where I want it to go. That's where I want it to render, and then we're going to render it as yeah, let's go download Linux, but of course we don't want to overwrite that file, so then let's go revision 1. That's a classic way of doing revisions, is you have revision 1, revision 2, and so we'll just call this revision 1. So we're going to save and then render that guy. Okay, so you can see that this is the one that I stopped. It looks like he is rendering for some reason, so I'm going to have to figure that out real quick. It actually looks like that was the aborted file, and this is the actual file we're rendering, the 6 minutes, so it's still going on. It's all good. Okay, so it just finished up rendering there. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to go find your video and watch it all the way through really carefully and make sure that it looks good to you, because there's usually one thing that's gone wrong. So watch it. If it looks good, right on, congratulations. And if not, then yeah, you can just come back in here, fix the problem, and then re-render it out, and it's all good to go again. Okay, thanks everyone for checking out this video, and I hope it was helpful. Have a good one.